You're watching Mr. Tony of the Dead's Reviews.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Mr. Tony of the Dead here, and I just have a few movie reviews for everybody, a couple Blu-rays, a couple DVDs, and the first one I'm going to take a look at is The Hunter from the Future. I saw the trailer for this and I thought this looks very interesting. It's very cheesy. It's kind of along the lines of like Sinbad-ish, like in a way, like the way it looks, but it has like, instead of like claymation, it has like they built like dinosaurs and stuff in there. It's obvious that they're like robotic. It's out of this world. But anyway, is about this guy who is like, you know, the greatest hunter, you know, and he has a mysterious past and he doesn't know his true identity in that, but he ends up helping out this woman and her her father's friend is kind of like he's like looking after her. He's like after her father died, and they go on this quest because there's this other group of, they look more like cavemen, these guys, and they kind of take her prisoner, but they're not the worst things out there. There's something else out there that I won't say what it is, but there's something else out there that makes them look like nothing, and there's a lot of things that is going on in the background that they have no idea what's going on, and you know, I gotta say, it was a fun movie. It's very cheesy. It's one of those movies where it's not a good movie, it's bad, but bad where you'll have a fun time watching. And that's exactly what is. I had a fun time watching it. Like I said, the dinosaurs are very robotic looking, like as if it's like a, I don't know, like if you're Disney, and those dinosaurs are cool, but if you're Disney and the way they move, they're just like, you know, on a you know, robotic. And it was funny. But when he's stabbing them like with his axe, and he's hitting them in the head, and that the blood's coming out now, which was kind of a cool effect to it. I thought it was like I said, it's just a fun watch, and very cheesy. Reb Brown plays and he's known from Captain America, and this was directed by Anthony M. Dawson. It's just it's fun. The bonus features on here is new audio commentary from Reb Brown and the theatrical trailer, so not too much on here. And this is from Mill Creek. I didn't say that, I forgot to say that, but it is from Mill Creek, and obviously, like I said, 35 years, you know, anniversary, and it's the Blu-ray, and it does look very nice too. Audio sounds good, the quality looks pretty good, you know, very you know, bare bones kind of edition, but I really don't know what else you would need with this. It is what it is, and I had a fun time watching it. I don't regret it, and I definitely think I would watch this again, just because it's you know, cheesy and fun. And here you have this cover. That's a fantastic looking cover. That is awesome. That would be an awesome poster to have, and it's in a slip cover. And you get the back here, very nice. And then here's a different cover on the inside, which I don't really care for, almost at all. I think that looks very boring as compared to the slipcover. And then the inside here, it's honestly is kind of plain. There's no slip or anything, like no sleeve, no advertisements or anything. But it's kind of a boring, like I said, bare bones edition. But it is still a very nice edition for what it is, I guess I could say. I really think the cover looks awesome, and the movie, like I've said 100 times, it's a fun time. You know, that's it. That's Next up, I have from MVD Rewind Collection. It's a new collection they're coming out with MVD Entertainment. It's D.O.A, A Rite of Passage, and it's a High Times film. And you know, it's kind of misleading. You don't really know what this is about unless you like obviously read the back. But you know, because a lot of titles you could tell. But this is actually a rockumentary that was put out in like 1981, or something like that, and it was filmed in the late 70s, and it followed mainly the Sex Pistols on their first and only U.S. tour, because after that tour they broke up and everything, and you know, stuff happened. But it follows them, you know, going to America, and it gets like the opinions of you know, people going to see them because they're from England, like I said, first time in America, and there was always that, you know, punk like thing, like punk started in England, punk started in America, and you know, it's just funny to hear the opinions on it on people. Like the first time they're hearing the Sex Pistols, maybe, and they're like, the guy can't sing, they suck, and another one's like, oh, the one that she said like Johnny Rotten or something like that is so beautiful, it makes me want to puke, something like that. Just really wacky kind of interviews. You know, the punk scene back then. A lot of different punk bands in here too. Some that I've never heard of. There's the Dead Boys. They were pretty good. X-Ray Specs. And after I saw them on here, it made me want to go and check out, you know, some of their music. And I've been listening to a lot of like old punk lately because of this. But it does have a lot of, like I said, it's mainly the Sex Pistols, and it shows them on stage, and it has the infamous Sid Vicious and Sid Nancy interview where he's like, you know, so out of his mind from heroin and that, and they're in the bed. It's kind of like a John and Oko thing in a way, but like fucked up pretty good. But it's I really enjoyed this. I really like, you know, documentaries. I like rockumentaries, and you know, it looks really nice. And this being like the first one in the MVD Rewind collection, they're coming out with other ones. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, Return of Swamp Thing, and one other one. It's escaping me right now. But so far they have them, you know, coming out, and I really do like this. I like this edition. I like what they're doing, and there is a ton of special features on here, and there's like you know, the full. Oh yeah, and there's also the. Just saw it, but there's a documentary on here that because the movie's about an hour and a half long. The documentary is almost 2 hours long, so the documentary is actually a documentary on making of the rockumentary. Yeah, it's actually longer than the actual rockumentary, but it's really good. It like, you know, they talk to people who are still alive, and you know, you get insights behind the scenes of stuff like that. It's just, you know, like a documentary does. It's a lot more information, you know, added on to, because it's kind of like all over the place if you watch the rockumentary. It's you know, they're talking to like I said, they talk to the fans and people who they think might be fans, but they also talk to like the British, can't think what technically he is, but look like an FCC kind of guy, and what they think about the Sex Pistols over there. And you know, because back then it was like, you know, they're disgusting. They pee on their fans and they curse and all that kind of stuff. But you know, it was just something different. Nowadays, I don't think anybody would really bat an eye at it, but or maybe they would, because it'd probably be so not PC, you know. But anyway, also on here is the it's a punk magazine founder and Ramones cover artist John Holmstrom, renowned music journalist Chris Salzik, a legendary photographer Roberta Bailey, Sex Pistols historian, and you know, original D.O.A. crew members are on here in the interviews. And there's a 12-page booklet with liner notes written by John Holmstrom, founder editor of Punk Magazine, a reversible artwork inside, photo gallery, and there's a two-sided poster inside, and of course you get the trailer. And so yeah, like I said, it's a very nice edition. And if you're into documentaries, rockumentaries, if you're into like the old school punk, definitely check this out. It's definitely going to be up your alley. Tons of great music throughout this Blu-ray, and if they ever came out with the soundtrack for this, I would definitely say pick it up as well, because not one bad song, I thought, you know, on here. Just a lot of fun to watch, and made me want to start up a band. So that's D.O.A. A Rite of Passage. And here you have D.O.A. A Rite of Passage. This is the cover, the special collector's edition. Again, looking at this cover, I'd never think this was about a Sex Pistols kind of rockumentary thing. So I think that they could have did a different cover, to be honest. In the back, look at all those special features. There's Johnny Rotten, you know, tells you about the movie, all that kind of stuff. The MVD Rewind collection, first of the series. And the inside here we have, you know, an awesome clear case, which I'm glad they went with a clear case, because I think blue wouldn't have done it. And then the inside here you have the DVD there. Here's a poster, and here's a Blu-ray. Here you have a little booklet. Tells you, things in it. It's not like some of the other booklets from other companies, but it just has a nice story in it, some pictures. And there's the back of it. You also have this reversible little mini poster in here. It's kind of cool. Again, I'm not a big fan of... Not that there's anything wrong with this cover. I just think it doesn't have anything to do with the movie, really. But here's also the Sex Pistols 1975 to 1978. It has a picture of all of them, which is, like I said, mainly what this is about. And it's like an old advertisement, which is pretty cool. And on the inside sleeve here, it has like this cartoon drawing kind of story going on. See, like there's the famous John or Sid and Nancy in the bed. It's kind of cool. It's different. It's not like reversible, like you can reverse it and put this on the outside. I guess you could, but it really wouldn't make much sense. But that's pretty neat. Pretty neat. The only other thing I would say is I think this is kind of boring. I wish there was like at least an image in the background, or like a punk over here, or something. It just like seems too boring and plain. I think they need to like start putting images on there instead of just like the title and that. It just looks kind of plain. They can keep this and a title and everything, but just have something, or even a different color. But just looks so boring and plain. But the movie makes up for it. Next up, I have here from Arrow Academy. That is The Apartment. It's a nice beefy edition of The Apartment. Never seen this movie until now. First time watch. And it's like 2 hours long on that. But anyway, this is with Jack Lemmon, Shirley MacLaine, and Fred MacMurray. And what this is about is Jack Lemmon, it's 1950-something. And he's like an accountant in this building. And he's like... if you've seen Wolf of Wall Street, it kind of looks like that, like this floor of desks, and it's just like, it just seems like it goes on forever. But he works with all these people, and he is kind of friends with the higher ups. He's trying to make his way up in the office, and here he's a single guy and no kids, no wife. Like I said, he's single, and he has an apartment well, from what I've heard, he pays $85. He gets $85 a week. No, he gets $90-some a week, and he pays $80-some a month for his apartment, which nowadays will probably be like $5 grand, for a month, or $10 grand a month, because of the location. Anyway, that's totally not. I'm just thinking, like, I always like to look back at like how much things were back then compared to now. But I mean, 1950 something, you're getting paid like 80-some bucks a week, or 90-some a week. That's pretty damn good. But yeah, he wants to move up. Anyway, back to what this is about. He wants to move up in the company, and somehow, they don't really say how it happened, but just somehow they get the key off of him. They want him to the higher-ups want to borrow his apartment to bring their mistresses, and basically, yeah, their mistresses, so they could like fool around with their wives, and they have this apartment. And the girls that they fool around with all think that this is their apartment. They don't know that it's, obviously Jack Lemmon's apartment. And Jack Lemmon is like kind of falling for Shirley MacLaine's character, and then he discovers that one of the people that he's given the key to is actually, somebody that's kind of messing around with her. And it's kind of like, he's a nice guy. He like I said, he just wants to do his job. He's trying to keep everybody happy, even when he's really sick. He lets them have the apartment, and you just kind of feel bad for him. And these guys that are bringing their wives in there, and that, they're kind of like, they're nice. They're kind of seem like nice guys, but they're kind of scumbags at the same time. And he, like I said, he's fallen for Shirley MacLaine's character, and after he finds out that she's like one of the girls that is getting brought up there, he like totally changes his character. He goes in like, he's almost depressed, but he goes into like this total opposite character. He goes into like a I don't care mode, and he's drinking at the bar and everything, and it's crazy. Like, the movie starts off kind of funny, it has like a fun aspect to it, kind of comedic, And then it just kind of takes like a 180. It gets a little dark, like especially toward the end with certain characters. I won't say what happens, you know, obviously, but certain characters, it turns very dark and it gets very real. And you know what, I gotta say, I thought this movie was fantastic. I loved it. I laughed a lot during this movie. Just the way things are said back then, and you know what they can get, what they got away with back then, what they won't get away with now. It was a good time. Like, I guess I could say good time. Like the first half of it's a good time. Second half, like I said, got real. It got like, I want to say dark, but I want to say like, you know, it's shit that happens. It happens nowadays, and that's very vague. I can't really give a great description about that, but trust me, if you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. But and his apartment's not even that big, and it's like 2-bedroom, and I don't know. It's you know, just right for a single guy. But just amazes me that nowadays that would be like a $5-10 grand apartment, because I can't think where it was located, but it was like the prime real estate, as they say, in like New York. Like it's like very expensive to live there now. But it's and all his because all this is going on in his apartment. All his neighbors, they don't know that he's given the key to, you know, various people. So they all hear this noise like almost every night, like him having sex, partying and all that. They think he's some kind of like I don't know. They just think he's like a crazy woman, you know, after woman has a different woman in there every night and blah blah. Like they didn't think that when he first moved in. But yeah, so I would definitely say check this out. It is in black and white, so it looks really nice. And they restored this. It's incredible how they restored this. They show like different footage of how it looked when they got it, and like you could see rips or cracks or like mold spots, and they like restored it and fixed it up. You couldn't even tell. They did a fantastic job of restoring this and putting this, you know, on Blu-ray and you know, upgrading it to HD, and a fantastic job. It looks amazing. But yeah, definitely if you're into like the old time movies, and this you know, again, it's old. It's from the 50s, but I really think it will hit some people nowadays too, because like I said, not too much probably changed like with this. I mean, things are a little more stricter, but I'm sure things like this happen nowadays. But yeah, that's The Apartment. Definitely check it out. And here you have the Apartment edition. This nice, beefy, hard box with it. Looks really nice, and it, you know, it feels very, very heavy, and it's heavy because of this booklet. This is very light. It's just the Blu-ray in the case, and that this book is I think it's thicker than usual books that are in Arrow, you know, editions. But Arrow Academy, that booklet is thick as hell, and this is, like I said, very light. And here's the newer artwork, and I'm going to say this wrong. It's commissioned by Ignatius Fitzgerald, I think that's how you say it. Oh, Fitzpatrick, I'm very sorry. But I really like this. I really like the new cover. And the back here, like, look at all those limited edition contents. That is a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. And then you got the inside here. No DVD, just the Blu-ray, but you have the newer artwork here on the Blu-ray, and you know, just a little postcard kind of thing, because you do get, like I said, the booklet, and like I said, this is the newer artwork. It gets you a better look at it and not so much glare. And here's the older artwork, which isn't that bad, honestly. I know it's boring and plain and that, but this plays a big part in this movie, I think. And you got a picture of Jack Lemmon and Shirley MacLaine up there. You know, kind of nice. I kind of like this one, but I really think this is a very nice artwork. It definitely has that feel of the 50s, 60s, you know, kind of like advertisement. And here you have the booklet. Very solid booklet. 150 pages in this thing. And it's only going to come in this collector's edition. And it just has a ton of stuff. It has the usual stuff, you know, but so much stuff. They have an interview with her nowadays, and it's just really cool. Like this whole edition is amazing. Like I said, very, very beefy. I like saying that about this. It's very beefy. Beautiful, beautiful edition. Next up I have here from Scream Factory is Hell Night, and this is directed by Tom DeSimone. I probably butchered that name, but starring Linda Blair. And what this is about, it's 1981, I believe, and there's this fraternity, and it's Alpha Sigma Rho. And in order to get into this fraternity, and there's a sorority as well, like the sister, I don't know what they call that, the sister sorority. Yeah, I don't know, but you get it. Like, they're connected. They have to spend the night in in Garth Manor, and what happened in this giant house in this manor is the family basically was murdered. The story goes that the husband married this woman, and she had a kid, and something was wrong with them. Like one of them was like deaf, blind, and another one had like no legs and arms, or they were just all turned out like something wrong with them. And so the husband one day decides he's going to kill them all, and one of them is missing. After all this happens, one of them is missing and escapes, and never to be found. So now it's 12 years later, and in order to get into this fraternity, you have to spend a night in this manor. And so there's two guys and there's two women, and they go up into the house, and the main fraternity guy in charge has the house rigged up to, like, basically it's supposed to scare them, and that they don't believe that there's actually somebody still in the house. And well, when it comes to it, they think that it's all a prank, and that here they're actually people getting killed, and that bodies are being found. And I gotta say, I watched this I have it on VHS. I watched it maybe last year for the first time, and I liked it. I really did like it. But I don't know, for some reason, watching it again, I loved it this time. I thought it was, I don't know what it was. I thought it was so much better. And there is scenes on here that they added back in with like standard definition, like I guess scenes that were lost, or they couldn't properly restore. They put in there as standard definition. You could kind of notice, but it's really not that bad. It doesn't like take you away from the movie like at all. Like it I think you'll be fine watching it. It won't even bother you. But this was such a fun. Again, here I go, fun watch. But people getting killed, it's a fun watch. But like it really was. It was a good time. It's a really awesome 80s like slasher movie. The only thing I think would probably be is the killer, when they show the killer's face and everything. It's not too like revealing, I guess, in Blu-ray, but I like on VHS how it's maybe it's a little darker and a little more grittier, and because Blu-ray, being that it's all cleaned up and everything, you can kind of see makeup and stuff like that. Things get revealed a little bit. So I thought that maybe that took a little bit away from it, but not really, because they show the killer, but they don't show him a super amount. But yeah, this was a good movie. Linda Blair, gorgeous, looks gorgeous in it. And there's this some special features on here. This new 4K scan from the best archival film print, so they did a good job. Interviews and commentary with cast and crew, including actress Linda Blair, director Tom DeSimone, producer Bruce Cohen, Curtis, and more. TV spots and theatrical trailer. Yeah, the interview with Linda Blair is like Linda Blair from, I believe it was taken this year, but you could tell it's Linda Blair. She's obviously older, and she's very like skinny, but not gross skinny. You could just tell it, because in this movie she wasn't heavy either, but she had a little bit more meat to her. And she's very cute. She's a very cute face, and you could just tell that obviously this is like 36 years later, and people age, but she's still a gorgeous woman. But yeah, I always love watching Linda Blair, her movies. It's just crazy. And then like the behind the scenes, which like I said, which they're talking to Linda Blair. Very interesting stories that she's telling about how she got the part, and you know, the director and all that, like their relationships together, you know, how they worked together previously, and just like a bunch of different stuff. You'll see it. Another guy that's in here, Peter Barton, he's from Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. I knew him right away. And Vincent Van Patten from Rock and Roll High School, and Kevin Brophy from The Seduction. And I haven't seen those. I've seen Rock and Roll High School, and Friday the 13th guy, I knew him right away when I saw him. Like, I think he's in a Friday the 13th movie. And I was right. But they all the characters are very likable too. You know, they party, they have sex, they get drunk, they have drugs. Some of the things they say about the drugs that get taken off of them, it's like no big deal. But it's the 80s, I guess. But yeah, definitely an addition that, you know, that you should add. I got this with the poster. I won't show you the poster. The poster looks just like this, but I think they did a fantastic job. And if you're a fan of Hell Night, definitely pick this one up. I don't think you'll regret it. And that's Hell Night. And here's a better look at the Hell Night new cover. Beautiful cover, a very, very awesome artwork. I'm very glad that I got the poster with this, because that is going to look awesome on my wall. I say a lot about different editions or different covers, like, oh, they should have a poster for that, it'll look awesome. I'm glad they have a poster for this, because that looks amazing. And here you got the back special features and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Nice pictures, nice scary or screaming Linda Blair. And here you have the reversed artwork. I have it reversed in here because the other is a slip cover and it has the new artwork, so I always put the old artwork on the case inside. That way you get the best of both worlds. But that's the original cover. That's the one that you mainly see on a VHS and I guess a DVD as well. I don't have the DVD, but I have the VHS, and I know for a fact that that's the image that you get. And you open it up, and then here's on the DVD is the older artwork, and on the Blu-ray is the newer artwork. Next up I have here from Cat Motion Pictures is Amityville No Escape, and this is directed by Henrique Couto. And this movie is about these this group of people find this tape from 1997. It was recorded on VHS, and it's this woman who disappeared from in this the famous Amityville house. And so they go and they want to do this documentary on fear, you know, what makes people afraid, and, you know, how far can they go being afraid of things. So they go and they camp around the house. And you know, it bounces back from watching the tape from '97 and all the shit that starts going on in the house around her, and to nowadays where they're filming with, you know, modern cameras and that. And they're, like I said, they're camping and stuff's happening out in the woods. They're seeing like a little girl. They're seeing things out in the woods. They're hearing things, you know, scary noises and stuff like that. And it bounces back and forth, but there's a connection. And I'm not going to say what it is, but, and it is found footage, so I know a lot of people are like, oh, forget it, I ain't watching it. I love found footage. I am not sick of the genre. I always say bring it on, bring more. I love it. I have a love for found footage. I just really do, and I want to see every one of them that comes out. And it's not like it's anything new, really. It just picked up in the last couple of years, and, you know, I just like I said, I always like seeing somebody else's version of one. But yeah, this is like I said, it's a ghost story if you couldn't tell, but. It's pretty cool. The house isn't the actual Amityville house, but looks just like it. And it's the house that Henrique uses a lot in his movies. And it's amazing how he can like take the same house and change it up every time. Like, oh, that's not. I know it's the same house from other movies, but look, when you watch it, it's like, oh, that's. You know, that's the same house. Oh, you know, because it's always something different. Either like the layout in the house, there might be a bunch of furniture, it might be cleaned out, there might be dead bugs, there might not be dead bugs, and that's real too. They're real dead bugs, but it's always has that scary aspect to it. You know, when he does a horror movie in there, it's kind of a scary house. Like, I probably wouldn't want to live there. But you know, it was nice, of course, seeing like his usual cast and crew with him. Some of them weren't in it that are usually in his movies, but you know, it's always nice to see, you know, the same people like in movies of his, you know, like it's to me it's like closeness, and they trust each other and they have a good time doing it. It was just nice to see, you know, that kind of stuff. And I really thought that was clever to be bouncing back from '97 to, you know, nowadays. I thought that was a good way to do it. I, to my knowledge, I don't think that's really been done or done a lot. And I really, you know, I liked that there was something a little new to the found footage. But on here, on the DVD contents, is Amityville No Escape feature film, obviously. Director audio commentary, that's with Henrique, and I'm going to say her name wrong. It's like Alia Gabrielle Eckhardt. I don't know. I don't know if that's how you exactly say it. I'm sorry. Then there's a Christmas Presents short film. A sneak peek at Nothing Good Ever Happens, which is my favorite Henry Couto film, and the Trailer Vault, which is a bunch of, you know, trailers from Camp Motion Pictures. So yeah, I did like this movie. I like the, you know, of course the twist. There's a twist in the movie. If I had to say something negative, I'd probably say at times it's a little slow. But it does kind of keep you on your feet because you know something's going to happen. And there was times that like it was supposed to be scary, but it really wasn't scary. But then later on it is scary. And there's sometimes like there's a lot of off-camera kills, and I kind of wish you did see more of it happening instead of just they're dead. You find them dead or not. I just that's one thing I wish I'd like. I don't know, that sounds sick, but I wish I could see them getting killed. I always like think that sounds weird, like when I'm reviewing a movie, like I wish I saw more death. Like I don't know what people would think, but anyway, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, it looked nice, sounded good, except for one scene. There was in the car, the first girl they pick up, she has red hair, she's a vegan, and that you couldn't really hear her too good. I don't know if it was because of driving the car or something, but it was very, very hard to hear. But other than that, like, the sound was good throughout the whole movie, and the picture looked good. And here you have the artwork for Amityville No Escape. You get a better look at it. And on the back here, you got some, sorry for the glare, I can't really get a good image of this, but as you can see, it's signed here from Henrique. Boo. And then nothing really on the inside, just, you know, it's cool that they have this artwork on the disc. See, this is what I'm talking about. I like artwork on a disc instead of just plain, and I really like that they did that. Has what number this is and everything. Just a DVD, there's no Blu-ray of it. And, you know, like I said, that's it. Kind of bare bones, but, you know, I still like it. That's Amityville No Escape. And the last movie I have here is Devil's Trail. This is the latest movie in Henrique Couto's film vault that he has, that he made. This is the latest one. And this is another found footage movie like the other one, except a totally different story. And this is following two reality show TV stars, like documentary kind of people. And they go out to the New Jersey what do they call it? New Jersey Pine Barrens, and in search of the Jersey Devil. And they're, you know, they have like their phones. I think, well, how long are they going to be there? They're going to be there for quite a while, and they have enough power and everything. And they're walking through the woods, and they have their camera phones like in front of them, so you see that point of view with each of them, and they chat between each other. You can tell they get along. Good people, good friends, and they talk about other jobs they've been doing, and they run across like a couple of Wiccans and that, naked Wiccans, and in the forest, and you know, it kind of gets weird after that. They're kind of weirded out a little bit with things, and then you could just see throughout the movie that the more they're going through, and then they get lost, you could see the deterioration of their friendship and their hope for getting out and survival, and, you know, of course, things going on at night. And it does have a very strong Blair Witch vibe, which to me is fine because I love the Blair Witch. That scared the shit out of me. This one, again, like the other movie, Amityville No Escape, kind of keeps you on your toes. I think this one kept you on your toes more, but I think a lot less happened in this movie. But it's still, like I said, like it kept you wondering. It kept what's going to happen. And also, this was like Henrique Couto's like first time being like a starring role. Like he's been in his movies before as like a supporting actor, and just some guy in the movie that like isn't in too long. Or and in Alone in the Ghost House, he was the cameraman, but you don't really see him too often in that. This one, throughout the whole time, like it's just him and this guy, and I thought Henrique did a great job. And seeing I don't want to get his name, John Hambrick again, I think John. This is probably one of the best times I've seen John in a film. I think he did a great job in this one as well. I think they both did a fantastic job. I was convinced they were lost in the woods because, like, that's kind of scary. I have a fear of, like, if I'm in the woods, I'm going to get lost, and, thanks, scared me. But this one had a really, really cool twist to it as well. I don't know if that's giving anything away saying it has a twist, because then you're waiting for a twist, but I don't think you're going to see the twist coming, which I thought, like I said, I thought the twist was really good and really well done. Just a lot of mystery of what's going on, and it just, like I said, you could see the deterioration of their friendship throughout the movie, just like slowly crumbling away, and they start flipping on each other, and it gets really weird toward the end. But this has audio commentary, behind the scenes, and trailers on here. And this is, I don't know if I said this, I'm sorry, but written by Jeremy Biltz. And it also has in here Joni Durian, Aaron R. Ryan's in this, and one other lady, one other woman, I can't think of her name, and I'm very sorry. But they did a good job as well. It was, and also Mary Lee Osborne plays a small part in this in the beginning, and it was nice to see her because I didn't expect her to be in it. But again, I like that. I like that Henrique puts in people that he has had in his movies before, and I think they get better and better every time they're in the movies. You get more. The more you're acting in the movies, the better you get, and they just keep on going up with their acting. I think they're really good and they're fantastic, and very nice people as well. But yeah, again, if you're not into found footage movies, you probably won't want to watch this. It's found footage, but I love found footage. Like I said, bring them on, bring me more. And it was cool because I got this off of Henrique and it was a mystery of what he said pre-order, and then you pre-order his movie, and then he'll send it to you, but he's not telling anybody what it is. And because I like all Henrique's movies, some more than others, but I like supporting him, and he's a friend of mine too as well. But I was anxious to see what is it, and then when I saw it was another found footage movie, and it was just like, ooh. And this cover is pretty cool too, but I just, when I saw that, I wanted to support him, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I got to see this. So yeah, if you're into found footage, check it out. If you're not, don't check it out, or check it out and maybe you'll change your mind about found footage. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. And here's a better look at the Devil's Trail. It's real. Artwork on the front. She's not naked. I mean, she's naked, but it's all covered up. That's why I'm showing this. I'm not going to get flagged for anything. She is covered up. You can see there's no nipples. No, I mean, she has them, but they're covered. And here it says, help. And Harry signed it again for me. Usually when he sends them out, he'll sign them for you, which is nice. In the back here, and you can see me in the background, but there's, pretty cool. And then the inside, fantastic looking. That DVD looks awesome. I really like it. I think it looks clearer than the image on the cover. But I think that's a great image. And you know, this definitely would draw people in, I think, to watch this movie. That was Devil's Trail. Well, that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and follow me on any one of the social media links down below in the description box. And if you're interested in purchasing any of these movies, you can check out those links as well. And that's it. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and talk to you later.